Hey there, it's Anna. Welcome to the garden. So today I'm actually coming out here to plant some tomatoes. We are basically at our last frost date. The 10-day forecast looks good. I do have a nice little row cover. They're going to go in that back raised bed, and so I think that even if it gets a little bit cooler, like into the 40s at night with that over them, they'll be just fine. And honestly, I'm just ready to plant tomatoes. So if you've been following along, I've shared a lot more about this on Instagram. My seedlings this year just did not do well. I have a few that are looking good, but I have a lot that honestly just, I don't know. I don't know if it was my soil. I don't know exactly what happened. They were doing poorly while they were inside, and I tried to bring them out to the greenhouse and kind of rescue them, and I don't know, just not really working great. So I have a few tomato seedlings, but they're way smaller than I would want because I had to restart them. I had germination issues. Anyways, I just went over to a local box store and picked up some tomato starts, and that's what I'm going to plant today. And then we'll just kind of see how this goes with the other tomatoes that I started. I may just pop them in containers or something like that. So I got mostly determinate variety tomatoes because I am planting them in my little raised beds here, and I don't want them to just get absolutely massive. So indeterminate tomatoes will just grow and grow and grow and grow. Determinate tomatoes have a certain height that they'll reach and then they'll stop. So that's just kind of the difference. But I was able to find a lot of different determinate varieties at the little local Lowe's. So I got a couple of some of these varieties. I wanted to go for bigger tomatoes rather than cherry tomatoes for the most part, because my daughter really loves tomatoes, and I really love tomato sandwiches. I know we're gonna eat a lot of tomatoes this summer, and because I'm into making like sauces and tomato sandwiches and things like that, I thought that a little bit bigger size tomatoes would just be easier. So let me turn the camera around and I'll kind of show you what I got. All right, so I got one indeterminate tomato. Which one is it? A Juliet. I have heard some really great things about the Juliet tomato, and this one is more of like a grape-sized tomato. And this I'm going to grow right along this trellis. I have this arched trellis that goes up, and so that I can use to support this tomato. So that's the only indeterminate that I got for the backyard garden here. Then I got a couple of these Celebrity Hybrid, which is another indeterminate tomato. And this one has, does it say on here what the size of it is? I don't think it says on the plant tag, but it has a bigger kind of fruit, so that should be good. I also got, let's see, this is another Celebrity, so I got two of those. And then I got two of these Bonnie Continental, another determinate variety. Again, a little bit of a bigger tomato. That looked like a good one for like a tomato sandwich. And then I got a classic Roma, and this is a determinate variety, just like a nice paste tomato. So I thought if I get enough, I can make you know, some like sauces and stuff. Or I just actually even like to throw a few fresh tomatoes into a tomato sauce that I'm making at home, just like to add a little freshness. And this one actually has little buds on it, so that's kind of exciting. So this is the raised bed over here where they're going to go. And let me pull off this row cover. So here's what we've got going on in here right now. A few pansies. This is a row of radishes. So those are going to be harvesting pretty soon here. I did plant some green onions. Those are like just like bunching onions, scallions. So those are going to stay. These are some carrots, which will also get harvested. The radishes will get harvested. And then I want to grow a row of basil along the front here. And who knows, you know, I may pop in a flower or two. But I figure I can plant the 6 tomatoes in here pretty much, and it should work out. Now with the radishes, the spacing is a little bit tight, but I'm just gonna kind of try to work around them, and I think it'll be okay. I think we can do it. It's always a little bit of a trick in the spring trying to fit in your summer crops in around your like spring crops, and that's why I only planted the one row of radishes, and they are starting to bulb up, so I really should be harvesting them pretty soon here. But yeah, just, you know, always a thing. I even find like it gets so warm here so fast that I really don't have a lot of time for like spring crops. That's why I do so much lettuce in containers and things like that, because it just, you know, I'm like ready to plant my summer crops and then, oh, I've got spring crops in the way. So just always, you know, this is like another reminder, like maybe I should have just left the radishes out, but I think we can fit it all in. I'm gonna place the tomatoes and then we'll just plant them. All right, here is the placement. The Juliet is going up along the trellis, so that'll be good. And then I've got the other two. Oh, sorry, got a trash truck coming through. The other two in a little square here. This guy here, it'll grow up. We have the green onions, and then I have room for maybe like a flower in the summer, the basil along the front, and maybe another flower over there. I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys into the ground. Now with tomato plants, you've probably heard that you want to plant them deeply. So I'm gonna take off these lower leaves on each one and make a deep hole and plant them in probably up to like right about there. Tomatoes will grow, you know, roots off of their stems, and so it just helps them to have an even better, happier plant with a better root system, all that good stuff. And that's what we're looking for right now. And I'm just trying to also be really mindful that I can still get my row covers in over these, because if I do have a cooler night, I want to be able to throw that row cover over them. But there we go, that's the plan. Okay, one carrot was harmed in the making of this video, but other than that, I had to move around a couple radishes, but I think it should be just fine. I'm gonna water those tomatoes in and then just let them grow. How fun to be planting tomatoes again. This really feels like spring. I will say, you might have noticed that I did plant them pretty close together, and I'm aware of that. And that is because I have a small garden, and that is kind of why it's the reckless garden, because I definitely do things a little differently here. Usually I find that it works out and we do okay and at least get some tomatoes. So I will keep you posted throughout the season as they grow. But thank you so much for watching today, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.